Dijon for the French Grand Prix. To make practice more interesting, it rained. Dijon, though twisty, is a quick circuit, but not when it is full of water. Emerging from the waves came a new Tolman that was eventually to prove highly competitive. But of course, it had a lot to compete against. On race day, it fined up. Tombé's Renault was on the pole, then De Angelis, Piquet, Rosberg and Prost, with Lauda back in midfield as usual. On the green light, Tombé and Piquet both had clutch creep. Tombé was boxed in, but he still managed to bodge his way through and take up an impressive lead, which he was to hold for 48 laps, thus showing what the Renault could do when everything in it was working at once. Behind Tombé came De Angelis and Mansell with a Lotus each, followed by Rosberg, who spent the whole race earning no points at all for making the Williams Honda look drivable, which everyone, including Frank Williams, knew it really wasn't. The first three charged on unchangingly, but Rosberg inevitably relinquished fourth place, which was filled by Tombé's teammate Warwick, although Prost's McLaren loomed in Warwick's right-hand mirror as Prost pulled out to go past Piquet into fifth place. Alboreto was out of it and spun off to underline the fact. Next, it was Lauda's turn to go past Piquet. Lauda was assisted in this maneuver by Piquet's turbo, which cooperatively blew up. Piquet pedaled the wrecked Brabham back to the pits so that it could catch fire properly in front of Gordon Murray. Piquet was tasting more foam than champagne and had added a fifth zero to his points total. Eating up Tombé's lead, Prost had a loose wheel that put him over the curb. He came straight in to have things put right. Tombé scooted away to safety. Tombé by now was in amongst the back markers. But Prost just sat there while 4 penneth of stripped thread dropped him from 2nd to 10th place. Tombé steamed on. Prost at last got back in amongst it. But the McLaren on Tombé's tail now belonged to Lauda. Lauda pressured Tombé into a turn wider than the curve. Alboreto gave up. Lauda came in for an 18-second stop that was quicker than Prost's, but too slow to keep Tombé from nipping back into the lead. But why was Shearer's arrows stationary? Lauda was away again in 2nd place. Shearer's arrows was stationary because Warwick's Renault had used it as a launching pad for a parabolic flight into the catch fencing. The front suspension came through the monocoque, but only bruised Warwick's leg instead of breaking it. Meanwhile, Lauda retook the lead from Tombé. The McLarens just had more of everything. Lauda won a race that Prost might have won, and Prost might have finished closer behind if his wheel hadn't worked loose again, a trivial fault which the now dominant-looking McLaren organization made sure didn't recur. Mansell was a brave third, Tombé a worthy second, and Niki the Rat had almost satisfied even his high standards.
Screwed up a lot of time with the pits, to be honest.